Hello, everyone. This is William here at Allegory Gallery. Whew, so I wasn't sure I was going to make it in time. We have I was up at Star Cottage Studio, and I thought I was going to be doing this from Star Cottage Studio. My hair is crazy right now because I don't know what way it's going on this camera. But I was up at Star Cottage Studio, and we realized that Andrew has a meeting at the same time that I have a meeting. So we couldn't do both at the same time. We couldn't do both at the same time because we just get reverb and all this stuff going on. So I ran home. What some people may not realize is that on StreamYard, we use StreamYard to stream everything. And on StreamYard, once you set a time, like I set this for 5:05 p.m., right? Once you set a time, if you are not here, you only get 10 minutes leniency. So I only have 10 minutes. If I'm more than 10 minutes late, it goes away on Facebook. Not so true, I don't think, on YouTube, another plus for YouTube, but it does go away on Facebook. So I shared this everywhere on Facebook. So hopefully we'll have a good number of people tuning in. I shared this with some of our local groups because we're going to talk about some of the classes that we do at Allegory Gallery. I shared it with some other groups that I don't normally share with, and I didn't want to be late. So I'm like out of breath. My hair is like, just because I wanted to get here in time to make sure I wasn't late and didn't lose all that sharing that I did today. So I'm just going to take a little break, take a little rest. I'm going to calm down, right? Zen out a little bit. Let's see who's here. That'll give me a time to catch up here. Suzanne, thank you for tuning in. Hello, Donna. Hello, Julie. Julie's having a crazy hair day too. Yeah, it's wild today. I don't know what's happening. And this camera is even worse because this, like when I go this way, the camera goes that way. I don't know if it makes sense, but it rotates your image. It's not like a mirror. Like on a mirror, if I raise this hand, see, this is the opposite side for me. You can't tell, but I'm raising the other side. So everything's backwards and crossed over. It's not like a mirror image at all. Oh, let's see here. What is going on? Donna has a crazy hair day too, right? Must be in the air, right? Probably literally in the air. It's windy out, so I'm just like blowing around. Hello, Marianne. Hello, Norma. Susan is with us today on both, looks like both Facebook and YouTube. Thank you. Yes, watch us everywhere. Watch us everywhere. We are 35 people. Oh, I can't even handle it. 35 people away from 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. There have to be 35 people out there who can sign up to us, who want to sign up to us, who want to know what we do, who want to hang out with us all. Just need 35 people. So hit your friends up. If you've not let your friends know that Allegory Gallery exists, go to YouTube, hit your friends up, share that link on YouTube. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. That's our big first step in getting monetization. It's actually our the third out of 4 steps. The first 2 were clear. One of those is not having any copyrighted material in your videos. We never do that. I forget what the other one is. And no other strikes against you, I guess. And like spammy stuff like that. And then 1,000 subscribers, that's the 3rd step. And then after we get 1,000 subscribers, we need 40,000 watch hours. I think it's 40,000. That sounds like a lot, right? But it's not really a lot. It's 40,000 watch hours, I think, in a year's time. I think it just cycles in the past 12 months. And if we have 1,000 subscribers, that doesn't take us long to get to 40,000 watch hours. Not long at all. So that's why we're trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers so we can get that monetization, that YouTube money, right? We want YouTube money. We have, what do we have? I forget how many thousand watch hours we have right now. But right now, YouTube puts ads in our videos anyway. If you watch one of our videos, not these lives, they don't put ads in the lives. But if you watch our regular tutorials and things that we have on YouTube, they put ads in some of our videos. We don't get any money off of that until we hit 1,000 subscribers and 40,000 watch hours. So we're trying to get up there. If it's not a huge amount of money. Some people make a living off of YouTube. I wish, because then we could do so much if we could support ourselves from YouTube. But we're just looking at it as a way to kind of reimburse our time and our energy to make more YouTube videos. It's not really, you know, we're not counting on it to like pad the bottom line or like make up, you know, tons of money. But that would be lovely. I would like that a lot. But we're really looking at it. If you see a tail, it's Barnaby. It's Barnaby. He's sitting on my lap. See that little tail over here. So we're trying to get there so we can, you know, use a little bit of that money. Hopefully the ad money will go toward, as Donna says, hey, every little bit helps, right? It's true. Every little bit helps. And especially when you're looking at doing things that don't have a return, right? That you can't see that tangible return. When I show you things on these videos that sell, things that you can purchase, that's my time doing that. And hopefully you're buying things from us that you see, that you like, and that has a return. But when we just put out YouTube videos, we want to start some, you know, kind of basics and some things, you know, we have ideas. We have lots of ideas for YouTube videos, and basics, not so basics. And we're going to record them. We're going to take the time to record them. We have to, you know, edit all the videos, do the sound check and get the sound right, and, you know, add in editing and transitions and all that good stuff. And then, so that takes hours. I don't know if you know, even like a simple 10-minute video can take an hour or two to film and edit. And actually it can take a lot longer than that, depending on how much you edit it down and how much you're filming. So that takes a lot of time. And, you know, when we're teaching people how to do basics, they're not necessarily always going to buy stuff from us. If we teach like how to make jump rings, right? We could teach you how to make jump rings, which Andrew has done in the past. And if we teach you that, it doesn't mean you're buying wire from us. That doesn't mean you're buying the tools from us. It just means that we're a resource for you to use, right? And so there's not always a return on that investment of time. So having ads in the YouTube videos that hopefully you'll watch, or walk away and let play, because that's what works, will give us a return. And that's what we want to do. We want to have that return. And in order to get to that point, we need to have 1,000 subscribers at least, and we need 40,000 watch hours. So that is why we're trying to push you so hard in getting into YouTube. And plus, YouTube has a lot of benefits over some of the Facebook streaming. You can pause a YouTube live stream and continue where you left off, which is you can't do on Facebook. If you pause it on Facebook and hit play again, it'll jump to the point in time that it's at. So I like that about YouTube. If you have YouTube Premium, you can watch videos without ads. You don't have ads, and there's a way that they use that monthly money to kick back to some of the people you watch, I guess. That's what I've understood. So there's that, which is great. And I think you can also, YouTube can keep playing on your device. So if you just want the sound, if you just want to listen, like a lot of our people just listen to us, especially during our Let's Chat days, you can listen and turn your device, the screen can go blank and you can just listen, which you can't do on Facebook. As soon as you close this, you blank out the screen on your phone or whatever, it stops. So that's what we're doing. That's why we're trying to get there. And I did share this video in a lot of places. So if you're new to us, if you're just watching, maybe you're my friends, I shared it on my personal timeline. I shared it in a lot of the local groups here in Ligonier on Facebook. I shared it all over. So if you're here and you're new, please say hi. Say hi in the comments. We love to chat. This is kind of what we're about. We do a little bit of chat. Like to hang out with you all. Some days are just chats. We call it Let's Chat. And we just sit around and we talk with each other and kind of get to know each other and see what's going on in one another's lives, right? So because I shared it everywhere, I'm going to do kind of a recap. So I talked about the YouTube thing, but what are we? What is Allegory Gallery? So in case you don't know, we are a bead store located in Ligonier, Pennsylvania. Our kind of tagline is beads, art, jewelry. That's what we like to get into. So we sell beads. If you're making jewelry, we sell gemstones, we sell check glass, we sell seed beads, we sell, you know, findings, toggles, beading wire. We sell everything you need to make bracelets, earrings, necklaces, things like that. We are located at 220 West Main Street in Ligonier, Pennsylvania. If you are anywhere local, you can stop in anytime. We're open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday. We're open 11 to 5. And on Sunday, we're open 12 to 4. So we're open all the time. We post on Facebook if we have to close or if we're running late more than 15 minutes or so. We'll always make a post on Facebook. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. We are on Twitter. We are on YouTube. We are in as many places as we can be. We have a Pinterest. So you can follow us in all those locations. Just search for Allegory Gallery in any of those locations. It's normally the @ in Allegory Gallery. You can find us there. We have an online store. So we're not only based in our physical shop, but we are, one of the remaining bead stores, the small town bead stores and even big city bead stores. We are one of the remaining bead stores in the country that are still alive. We're still kicking. We're still here. And that's thanks to all of our wonderful supporters, both here locally and all over the world. We do have an online store at allegorygallery.com. We have recently purchased a large pewter line, a fine pewter line, and we are branding that as the Allegory Gallery Fine Pewter Collection. And we will be adding to that line and manufacturing that line here in the United States. And you can get those items now on our online store. I just sent out an email about that today. So if you're not on our email list, subscribe. Go to allegorygallery.com and go to the bottom of any page, and there's a place to put in your email. We have lots of fun. We have many clubs and groups that we have. So on Facebook, we have the Allegory Gallery Design Challenge group. And let me throw up, I think I have a banner for that. There it is. It's facebook.com/groups/Allegory Gallery Design Challenges. And that is our main group. That's Allegory's main group. And we hang out there. If you make something using anything you've purchased from us, you're free to share it in that group. If you have questions about how to do something, or, I just want to know if this looks good, or what do you think about this? Is this too chunky or is this too small? There are, I think, close to 800 or so members in the group, and they're all nice. If you're in that group, thank you. You're all nice. You're all wonderful people, and you all help each other. So don't ever feel embarrassed, especially if you're new. It's a great group for new people. If you're just learning how to make jewelry, or you're even thinking you might want to learn how to make jewelry, join the group and hang out with the people there. Lots of fun, lots of knowledge, and lots of support. So that's Allegory Gallery Design Challenges. Now, we have a book club. Many people don't know that, because if you've joined us over the pandemic, the book club has been on hold. And the reason it's been on hold is, there's a lot. We had to stay alive. So we had to cut down on our offerings in order to put our energy where we needed it to be to keep going through the pandemic. It's been very hard for small businesses. But we do have a book club. And if you go to allegorygallery.com and you go to the clubs and groups tab, you'll see the book club. It's called Inspired by Reading. We have had Inspired by Reading pretty much since we've had Allegory Gallery, which we started in 2011. And the book club, we read one book a month, and then we make something inspired by that book. And maybe you'll make jewelry, maybe you'll make clothing, maybe you'll do painting, maybe you'll work with polymer clay. Who knows? You can make anything. It's just to be creative. So it's called Inspired by Reading. We're going to restart that soon. We are working on restarting a lot of things. We have not gotten around to the book club yet, but it's good. You can find the book club on Facebook as well. I don't have a little banner for that, but if you search groups and you search Inspired by Reading, you'll find it. I think you can also link to it if you go to the Allegory Gallery Facebook page and click the groups tab. It should be under there too. So we have the book club. Mostly in the book club, we read a lot of fiction and kind of fantasy, those kind of things that might lead, like fantastic creatures and magical things happening. We try and do things that are really going to, spark some creativity. We want to spark that creativity. So those are the kind of things we normally read, but sometimes we get into some nonfiction and some interesting things like that too. So join the group on Facebook so that you're ready when we're ready, because it's going to happen soon. We're working on everything. We're restarting a lot of things. Speaking of restarting, Allegory Gallery Interviews. Allegory Gallery Interviews has its own page on Facebook, and that is our podcast. We have not done an episode through the pandemic, but we just, I think last week, I want to say on Friday, actually maybe it was over the weekend, I think before, I worked on it last week, and I debuted the first episode, which was episode 14, the first episode since the pandemic. And it's dealing with somebody who, and I don't want to give too much information because I want you to listen to it, but you can go to allegorygallery.com and go to the podcast tab, and you can listen there. You can listen on Spotify or Apple Music, all those places. But the episode is dealing with somebody who has been blind since the age of 3, and they make jewelry. And so we talk with them about some of the things that they do and how they access things, and what's available. And I think it's very interesting. I think it's inspiring. We get a lot of people who come into the store and say, I could never make jewelry, but you can, and you can see. So there's even a better and easier possibility for you to make things. But this is somebody who has been blind because of a tumor since the age of 3. And they are able to make jewelry and make wonderful jewelry. So I hope you do check that out. It's on allegorygallery.com. You go to the podcast tab or search for Allegory Gallery Interviews on Spotify, on Apple Music or Apple Podcasts. We're in a lot of places, and you can listen in a lot of different places. So I hope you will. We've also interviewed a lot of wonderful people over the years. Some people from our town here in Ligonier. Some people, Christy Friesen, Kelly Russell. We've done a lot of people. And we've interviewed wonderful people. Diane Hockey. I'm trying to think of some others. But yeah, we have a lot of good interviews there. So I hope you'll listen. And like I said, some of them are old. We started it about 3 years ago, I think, and 3 or 4 years ago, and we did not do any episodes over the pandemic. So it's been about 2 years at least since we did an episode. But our first one since then is out and ready for you. I do want to say that if you know somebody who you think might be good for the podcast, please feel free to send us an email at info@allegorygallery.com. I'm always looking for interesting people to interview. So if you know somebody who might be interested in that, please send us their information, or have them, better yet, have them send us their information. It's always great to send your friends information, but maybe your friend doesn't want to do it. So it's best if they make the first step to send us the information, and we'll go from there. Now I'm going to jump in here and catch up on some comments because I know I might be behind, and I want to see if there's anything anyone has a question about before I do that. Donna's saying, take a breath, right? I have a lot of energy today. I don't know why. I didn't sleep that great yesterday, but I have a lot of energy right now. Hello, June. Susan says, my hair is just odd. I like your sticky up hair. Thanks. It's crazy today. It's crazy today. Suzanne did more spring cleaning, more space. That's nice. I need to do some, I'm looking around right now. I need to do some major spring cleaning, but I don't have the time yet. But we'll get there. We'll get there, right? Everyone's saying hi to Barnaby. Marianne has a rainy day there. Up in Canada, we are not rainy. We are pretty nice today. I mean, it's gray. It's gray today. Let's not pretend that it's a beautiful day. But I kind of like a gray day sometimes. And obviously I have some energy, so maybe I needed a gray day. Hello, Beth Ann. Thank you for joining us. Susan is coming to us from New York. Thank you, Susan, for tuning in. Beth Ann says, very proud of y'all. Thank you so much. We are pushing along, and we are coming out with more and more and more new things. So trying to keep up with ourselves, I guess. I don't know. A lot of people don't realize how much a small business has to do to keep alive. The reason we started the podcast, I always wanted a podcast secretly. But the real reason we started a podcast is because in 2018, we won a small business championship sponsored, and we, sponsored by SCORE. And we learned that Google was going to start rating small businesses on the platform better if they had a podcast. Who knew, right? Who knew? We found that out. So we started a podcast, and I love our podcast. But yeah, small business has to do a lot just to stay alive. And I think you can see that in a lot of small, unfortunately, a lot have closed. But we also, there are a lot still plugging along. And when you go in to support them, it may look a little bit more run down, or it may look like the owners are frazzled as can be. And believe me, they are. And they don't have time to do everything they used to do, or maybe they don't have the help to do as much as they used to do. So we try to push along and we try to keep up, but we get tired too. But we're still here, and that's because of all of you out there. And we're trying to do more. We're trying to actually get back to where we were, kind of, while we add a few more things to the list. Susan says, yes, my big small city is very much lacking in local bead stores, right? It's hard. It's really hard. And especially for bead stores, it used to be a bead store, was in a lot of small towns, or, especially the big cities, and that's less and less right now. And so we're really trying to keep up. We're really trying to keep our physical store going. We could shut down our physical store and, the majority of what we do happens online now. We could easily close the physical store and, keep going, but we'd lose touch with something. We'd lose touch with that core part of, Allegory Gallery started as a retail business. And of course, we expanded online very quickly, but we would miss that community. We would miss that sense of belonging and that sense of, that sense that a physical store gives you. There's something anchoring, I want to say, about a physical store. And not only for us, but for those in the community. So many people come in and just enjoy, perusing the selection and chatting and, taking classes, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. So we don't want to lose that. And so we are trying to keep the physical store going. It is very slow right now. I would say that it is not necessarily pulling its weight. And, if we were some big business, we might just chop it off and say, okay, we don't need that right now. But we're not. We're here for the community. And that's, we want to give people, whether you're retired, whether you're still working, whether you're young and going to school, we want to give people who want to try, they want to be creative. They want to try something new. We want to be a place for them to do that. And that's really, really what we're trying to, hold out for. And really, we know at some point things have to come back entirely, right? They have to rebound. And we're waiting for that. We're holding out for that. And we're trying our best. So, we all fail sometimes, and we do too. Which I'm going to talk a little bit about too, of course, here in a little bit. But we're trying, and we want to stay here for all of you. We want to stay here to have the store be an anchor and really, be something that that makes people happy, that brings people together. We have locals who are waiting for the classes to come back, and they all met each other in our store. Many of them didn't even know about each other until they came into the store, and now they're best friends and they hang out, and they've hung out for years now. Whether they're with us or whether they're, going and hanging out and having breakfast together, or, going shopping together. And it's so great to see that we can be that start that brings people together. And we would not have done that if we didn't have our physical store. So I think it's important. It's important to support your small businesses that you have around. We have a very vibrant merchant community here in Ligonier. We're extremely lucky. There are many, many, many towns around us that used to have, a main street with businesses. Once the businesses shut down, the town started to fall. They fell apart. And that has happened in many, many, many countless towns around us. We're exceptionally lucky here in Ligonier, Pennsylvania, that we still have a business community. And, it brings tourism to the town. It brings events to the town, but it also keeps the property values up in town. It keeps, you hope it keeps the drugs and the crime away, because you do have a lot of people in. There's a lot more upkeep. We have a police department in town, right? A lot of small towns, once they lose their merchants, once they lose their small businesses, there's not enough revenue to have things like that. There's not enough revenue for your own police force. There's not enough revenue, to block some of the stuff coming in that you don't want in. So we're exceptionally lucky. And if you're watching here from Ligonier, Pennsylvania, welcome, neighbor. I'm glad to have you here. And it's just a beautiful town we have, isn't it? I think so. Let's see what else is going on. Beth Ann said, my closest big stores are 45 minutes away. I'd rather shop online. And that's the case too, right? Sometimes we live in a small town. A lot of things are far away from us. And, you know, we're lucky that we have small town merchants that carry a lot of things that you may need. But sometimes shopping online is a necessity. And that's where we do a lot of our business is online, especially right now. It's most, I want to say most of our business. But we, you know, we also put the same effort into our online store that we do in store. I talk about this a lot, but like I said, I'm doing this for people who may be new. I've shared this all over. Maybe you're watching the rewatch. I hope so if you missed the live. But it's an amazing thing to be able to bring beauty into the world, and we take it very seriously. We go to shows when we can. We purchase online from some of our vendors too when we can, but they're trusted vendors. They're people we've known over and over. We've worked with them over and over. We've known them for years. And we do not purchase anything that we wouldn't see ourselves using in our own creations. So, you know, we're not going to sell you junk. We're not going to sell you cheap, flimsy things that are going to break. That's not what we want to do. We test things. We inspect things. We do our best to make sure that the things we bring in are quality for you, so that you've already, you know, if you know us and you begin to trust us, you know that our eyes have already been on it. Our hands have already touched everything that have come in and have inspected it. And if it's not good enough, it doesn't go into the online store. It doesn't go into the physical store. It gets sent back, or, you know, it gets absorbed into maybe something for kids, depending on, you know, what it is. A lot of times, you know, beads for children don't have to be as quality as beads for adults, right? So we try to make sure that everything that comes to you has already been inspected. We go to shows and we look at hanks of beads. A hank is usually 10 to 12 strands of beads tied together. That's a hank. Sometimes it's a lot more, sometimes less. But anyway, when you see the beads, all the same strands tied together, that's called a hank. So we'll look at hanks, and sometimes we'll pull 3 or 4 strands out of the 12 that are there, and we'll tell our supplier, these are the 4 that we want. Because they're the ones that are good enough to pass along to you. Now, we are a small business, so obviously sometimes we're a little bit more expensive than the big box stores that I won't name. You know, that sometimes happens, but we also try to keep our prices very low. And by buying from the same vendors over and over and over again, especially at shows, they get to know us and we get better and better pricing. You know, sometimes we get exceptional pricing, and when we do, so do you. You know, we don't ever try to mark our things up crazy amounts. We don't ever try to price gouge you in any way. We don't mark things up 15, 20 times so that we can give you an 80% off sale. We don't do that. We would rather have good prices all the time, and every once in a while surprise you with a sale. Not 80%. You'll never see that from us unless somehow we're going out of business, which, knock on wood, we don't do. So we want to make sure that if you do have to shop online, you're always shopping quality with us. And if you ever have issues, we do hope you'll email us and let us know. We try to fix as many issues as we can. Sometimes, you know, if things happen in the postal service, there's not a lot we can do about that. But we've been, knock on wood again, exceptionally lucky. We have a very good postal service here in Ligonier. Our post office is amazing. The people who work there are amazing. And the vast majority of our packages, you know, get to where they need to go with not a single problem. So we're exceptionally lucky that way. And please know that if you do shop with us online, you are still buying quality things. They are things that, like I said, we would use to make our own jewelry or our own creations if needed. Okay, let me keep going here. Let me keep going. I know some of you are chatting with each other, so Oh, Cynthia said Jamie came over today and we painted some pewter flower links. That's crazy. That's a lot of fun. I didn't know she was down there. I didn't know what was happening. How am I not in the loop? I've been just busy. I've been busy, but that's awesome. That's really cool. Hello, Lorraine. Thank you for tuning in. Donna says, I'm so thankful for Allegory Gallery. You were one of the few online businesses that I order beads from and know I am getting quality. Thank you. Thank you for saying that, Donna. You know, the more that you all go out there and tell people, share our posts and say, hey, I buy things here, always good stuff, or never a problem. The more people see that, the more they are likely to help us and support us as well. I know people don't want to give up their sources, right? I get that. I totally get that. But there has to be a give and take too. You know, if people don't never give up their sources, then that source doesn't have any more people and it dries up. And we don't want to do that. We don't want to go out of business. So please, if you do have good things to say, please share it with your friends. Let them know, your fellow jewelry makers, you know, and please let them know that we are a trustworthy company, that we do try our best to make things right and keep things right for you. Let's see here. Marianne says, long life to Ligonier. Yes, I hope so. I hope so. Susan says, a large corporation really doesn't care about the community it's in. They create a race to the bottom situation. And that is oftentimes exceptionally true. We do not try to do that race to the bottom. Like I said, we do not inflate our prices just so that we can charge, you know, 80% off. We don't try to, you know, we have to make a margin, right? We have to have a margin. We have to make money to stay alive. We are not making money to get rich. You know, getting rich would be wonderful, but I don't think Andrew and I will ever be rich because everything we do, all the money we make gets put back into the store. Or we, you know, like we acquired Star Cottage Studio and we're building that jewelry studio. Everything that we make tends to go into something else. And generally it's something for the community, or it's something to provide instruction or tutorials or education. We're not throwing it in a bank account and saying, okay, let's get rich off of this. That's not what we do. We want the community to prosper. We want to, you know, give you all the education that we can. We want to give you all the tools and the materials that you need to, you know, hopefully you get rich, right? Sell your stuff, make some money. We're here to try and do the education so that you can make things and just make money off of them. That's what we want to do. So yeah, we have to have a margin on our items. So sometimes we're a little bit more expensive than those big box stores who can bring it in and make 50 cents on a strand because they sell, you know, thousands and thousands of strands and those 50 cents add up. We can't do that. We don't have that kind of, you know, massive buying power, and we don't have that massive selling power right now. So yes, our things are sometimes a little more expensive, but for that, we hope that the education we provide, you know, all the instruction we give, the tutorials we give, and the quality, just the quality of the materials, we hope is worth it to you to continue supporting us. Donna says, I live in a rural area, so online shopping for beads and supplies is a plus for me. Yeah, right? I grew up in rural areas. We still live in a fairly rural area. Like the town I grew up in literally was so small, it got absorbed by the neighboring town. I grew up in a town called Clyde, Pennsylvania. Clyde Volunteer Fire Hall is one of the few things that are still named after the town that's still in existence, because it got gobbled up by the neighboring town because it became so small. So I know what it's like to live rural and not have anything around you. And I would have loved to have a bead store or a yarn shop or, you know, a place for crafting when I was growing up, painting, things like that. I would have loved that in a small rural town. And I wish more people would go out there and start their own businesses. But that's another topic for another day because I can't get into that here. I got stuff to show you yet. Hello, Harry. Thank you for tuning in. Suzanne says, AG is honest and has quality things. I've seen stores try to sell dyed howlite for turquoise, not AG ever. No, if it's dyed howlite, It's dyed howlite. There's nothing wrong with dyed howlite, right? Why try and make it something that it's not? If you like it, if it's pretty, use it, right? It's inexpensive. It looks pretty. Use it. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's what, we're not elitists in that way. We can sell you a strand of $600 sapphires or an $800, necklace of garnets. We have stuff like that, but we also have dyed howlite. And it's inexpensive and it's pretty. So use it, right? You can mix and match and there's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, there's no reason, because we have that mentality, I think there's no reason to feel like we need to call things something else. We label them as it is. If we know something is dyed, like the dyed jade I'm going to show you today, which I did show you before. If you've already watched, you may have seen it. I hope you'll still tune in and take a closer look at it here and a longer look at it. But at least I think I showed you. I can't remember it anymore. It's dyed. It's jade, right? But it's like $7 a strand. It's inexpensive. It's something that's great. And I posted this. It's great for beginners, right? Because if you're just starting, who wants to buy a $300 strand of sapphires for a hobby they may not actually want to keep doing? Not me. Well, maybe me, because I like sapphires. But yeah, it's great for beginners. They have colors that you're not going to find in nature. Or if you do find it in nature, it's incredibly expensive to get those bright, brilliant colors on some stones, right? So it's dyed. It's fine, though. As long as it's not going to sweat off on your skin, which we do test things to make sure that, getting wet is not going to, make them stream all over your body, then it's fine. As long as you know what you're buying. And that's what it is. We believe in empowering you to know what it is you're using and you're buying. So we try to label everything the best that we can. Sometimes we don't know. Sometimes we don't label things dyed because maybe they are and we don't know they are. But we do try to inspect things and try to determine what they are. And we try to ask our vendors all the time what they are. And we do our best. And thank you, Suzanne, for pointing that out. Donna says, I refuse to buy beads from the larger chain stores. That's a personal thing, right? You can buy beads there. I will say that, a lot of times the beads that you buy there are not the nicest quality. And a lot of times, if they do look nice, you'll pay more for them. Big box stores work that way. They work on a lot of times what things look like, right? So if you get a nice glass strand, it may be more than you'll pay from us because we're just selling it to you as a check glass strand, right? And it's priced just like everything else because everything is beautiful in our store, right? Doesn't matter what it is. We don't have to up the price just because it's beautiful. Marianne says some of those big box do have some good stuff. Yep, it's like I said, they do. But a lot of it is also junk. Can be, right? Can be cheap. And maybe that's what you want, especially, like I said, as beginners. You're not looking for a lot, right? And that's fine. There's a place for that. But we also have that stuff too. And we hope that when you decide to shop, you'll shop with us or, another small business, small bead store in your area. If you don't have one in your area, we're online. You can support a small bead store by buying from us online. We promise to keep doing the give back. We promise to keep doing the education. That's what we're here for. Like I said, we're not here to get rich. We're just here to keep making more and more money so we can do more and more things. That's what we'd rather do. She says AG is quality all the way. Thank you. Thank you. Suzanne says, for all its size, New Orleans only has one local bead store, right? Sad. It's sad. It's really sad. And we appreciate that you shop from us and from them. Susan says, you can trust AG. Thank you so much, neighbor. One of our Ligonier locals here. Donna says, when I was younger, we lived in a big city and Tandy Leather Company was a favorite of mine. When I moved here, the closest bead store ended up closing. That's sad. I think we have a Tandy in about 2 towns over. I think Greensburg has one still, I think, as long as they're still there, which is nice too. Susan says, I'm new to beading and I trust Andrew and William. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Miles says, say no to Amazon, right? You know, there are good things and there are bad things. And all over the world, you can make choices. We buy things from Amazon for office supplies and things sometimes when we need. It's hard to get away from, right? It's hard to totally get away from. But we do hope that for your creative pursuits, for things that you're really interested in, for things that you're taking a little seriously, we hope that you'll come to us if you're making jewelry and shop your small businesses when you can, for anything you need, for anything you need. Donna says, yes, I've been ordering from them, us, for about 4 or 5 years and have been beating for about 20. Never, ever been disappointed. Thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad. So this is, I didn't know Tandy was still in business. I think I just met someone, well, this was before the pandemic, but somebody had mentioned them being in town, not in our town, but a few towns over, doing leather stuff. So I think there's still one. I don't know for sure if it's still there or not anymore. Okay, so I'm down to the bottom of the comments. So the other thing I wanted to mention is that if you're local, or even if you're not local and you want to travel, we're starting classes back up at Allegory Gallery. So if you're interested in learning how to make jewelry, now that we've talked about all this stuff we do, if you actually want to learn to make jewelry, we'll help you with that. And we're happy to help you with that. So Friday the 13th, is the first class starting up. Now, some people consider that an unlucky day. I don't necessarily consider it that, but I say if you think it's an unlucky day, come learn a new hobby, make a new, make a gift for you, yourself, or a loved one. It's a good way to shake off those unlucky vibes by learning how to do something new, right? So we figured, hey, let's take an unlucky day, if you believe in that, and make it lucky, right? Let's make some stuff, maybe start a new hobby for yourself, maybe, just do something for you. And so Friday the 13th in May is our first class, almost first since the pandemic. We started up classes, and as many of you know, our teacher, she had a family emergency, and yeah, I don't want to say too much because it's not my place to say a lot, but had a family emergency, took her away for many, many months. That situation is doing much better and things are going well. And Jen is now ready to get out of the house again and do some mingling and do some teaching. So if you are local or if you want to visit us in Ligonier, Pennsylvania, come by on Friday the 13th in May. We're going to actually, I think, from Friday the 13th and then every Friday after that in May, we're going to have classes. We used to do it every week. Right now, until we get into more of a flow of things and make sure everything's still okay with Jen and her family, we're going to do select Fridays. So you can check out on our website at allegorygallery.com. Let me just throw that up here. You can go to the classes tab and you can check the schedule and make sure we're going to have class before you show up. But it's going to be Friday the 13th. We're going to start noon to 4 are going to be classes. We're open 11 to 5, but we take the noon to 4. That gives us an hour to get ready and an hour to clean up at the end of the day. So noon to 4, that's 4 hours worth of classes. You can come in at any point. I do say if you're brand new, give yourself an hour and a half, so get there by like 2:30. But otherwise, if you know what you're doing, or if you just want to spend the day with us, you can come in for all 4 hours. We don't mind. We are working on expanding our classroom space. Right now, we have a table that's set up for about 6 people. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, right? You're having classes for 6 people, but that's normal for us because we're in such a small town. So we're working on expanding that to having at least 12 people fit in that room. And that's what we're hoping to do here, hopefully by the time classes start, but we'll see. So we can at least fit 6 people. You don't have to make an appointment, but just know that if you don't let us know you're coming, we may fill up. Really, we don't take appointments anyway, so you can call and ask if it's full, or you can just stop by if you're local and just hang out. So Jen is a wire wrapping guru. She does amazing wire wraps. So she can teach you from anything from the basics. You just have never made anything in your life. We'll teach you how to make earrings. We'll teach you how to make necklaces. We'll teach you how to make bracelets from start, from scratch to finish. Um, excuse me. And if you are more advanced, or maybe you don't want to learn how to make a bracelet or earrings, maybe you want to learn, you have a beautiful crystal that you have and you want to learn how to wire wrap it to turn it into a pendant, she can teach you that too. So those are some of the things that are available to you through our classes. And hopefully you'll come by. Now, we do not do seed beading classes right now. So those of you who are trying to learn to seed bead, unfortunately, right now we don't have a teacher for that so much. But we're working on other classes as well. So right now, basic stringing, if you want to get into it, that's why we love beginners, because we can teach you how to get started. And then once you've gotten started and you just want to play around with things, you're welcome to come into the classes and just hang out. That's what many of our locals do who've been with us for many years. We just hang out. That's all. Make stuff together. It's fun. It's not necessarily a class anymore because everybody knows what they're doing, but it's time to hang out and get together with the community, right? And that's what we like. So Susan says Jen is very patient also. Yes, Jen is very patient, and you should not fear coming in and trying, because we get so many people. Most of our regulars came in saying that they could never do something like that, and now they do it all the time. So you can learn to make jewelry, and you can do it. Like I said, even in our recent podcast episode, we interviewed somebody who is blind and they make jewelry. So there's no excuse. If you can see and you can use your hands, you can make jewelry. We've done special classes for kids. Kids can make jewelry. We've done special classes for people with special needs, both children and adults with special needs. They make wonderful jewelry. So it's really, really, it's something that anybody can do, and we can teach you to do it. So if you are interested, put aside those reservations that I can't do this. Stop telling yourself that and just come in and learn how to make jewelry with us. So Friday, the 13th in May, first class in a long time. And we're going to get started on a roll with that. So classes are starting up. Book club should start up soon. We got the podcast hopefully rolling soon. It depends if I have people to interview and have the time to do that between my schedule and their schedule. But we have that going again. And of course, we're shipping out of Star Cottage Studio now, which is something I don't know if Andrew mentioned. I tried to keep up with his lives as I was driving and doing things. But we have fully moved the online store now to Star Cottage Studio. So we are now there. We are set up. We have an area for the shipping and packing. And we have started shipping at the beginning of this week again. So talking about things that, not everyone's perfect. We know. We have some people who are waiting on packages. We know that. Our shipper, right before actually the Great Bead Extravaganza, our shipping helper went on vacation. So it was just me trying to pack as much as I could. And also during that time, we were starting to move the online store over and finish up Star Cottage Studio, the construction we had to do to create that area. So it took a while. And we know we're behind. So as I've said on this video a number of times, if you need something, please let us know that you need it by a certain date. And I've had people who are going on vacation and they let us know, and we're shipping their things out. Otherwise, we are shipping everything in the order it arrived as best that we can, and we are catching up. So all those wonderful pewter components, that fine pewter line that hasn't gotten in the hands of pretty much anyone yet, because that was at Star Cottage Studio waiting for us to finish the move. They are now going out. Things are going out to people, and I can't wait. I'm so freaking excited. You don't know how long I've been waiting to get this all done. I don't like building stuff. I don't like DIY. I don't like painting. I don't like construction stuff. I don't like any of that. But I was motivated to get this done because I want to get those pewter components in your hands. I want to see what you all make with them. I think we had an order go out today that had 182 items. They were all the fine pewter line. So that's amazing to me. I want to see what you do with them. I can't wait. I hope that it's a line that you all love working with. I hope you'll continue buying from the line. And if you make, it's something that we plan to continue producing. So if you do make things and you make multiples of things, hopefully with that line, you will be able to continue to get those items from us. And, you can keep making things for sale in multiples that way. It is a line that, as I sent out in our email today, I talked specifically mostly about that line today in the email. And it is a line that we are looking to wholesale. So if you are a retailer or you have a small business that you resell and, you buy and resell, get, oh, I just saw in a comment. Donna says, my entire order was all that line and got your shipping notification this morning. I can't wait for you to get it, Donna. I hope you love it. I love them. I love them. And now I'm losing track of what I was saying because I'm really freaking excited to see what you all do with them. And I hope you'll put them in the design challenge group and show us what you're doing with them. I hope you'll send us pictures. I love seeing what you make. And I hope this line is something that you love. That's back where I was. We are wholesaling the line once we get into production. We have the stock that we're working with now is old stock. And we bought the old stock along with the rights to produce the line. We will be adding to the line. Andrew will, of course, be making designs to add to the line once we get up and running with the production. But we have to talk with some people. We want to produce it in the United States. That's important to us. We're trying our best to do that and to keep it within the United States. So we have some plans to talk with some people. I think around June or July, we're going to be able to make that traveling happen to go talk with vendors and producers and makers to continue producing this line. So right now we're working with the stock we have. And that's another thing I want to reiterate. The prices are low right now. Okay. The prices on the pieces that we're supplying are low. Now that's not necessarily that they're all going to jump up by lots of money. That's not what I'm saying. But this is probably the lowest price you will ever get on these because when we do have them produced, as many of you know, prices of metal have increased, sometimes doubled over the pandemic. We don't know what's going to continue happening by the time that we go to produce these. Prices may go down, prices may go up. But the prices that you see on our website right now are the lowest these prices are ever going to be. Hopefully we can keep a lot of them at that price. We're hoping. And many of them, it might be fine. There is a little bit of margin built in there, but they may go up. And I don't tell you that to scare you, because, who wants to buy something now and then have the price go up later when they need more of it? We're not trying to do that. We're just being realistic. And we want to get these in your hands. We want to give you a good price on them now. And we want you to use them and hopefully love them. And then when we go into production, we're going to still keep the prices as low as we can. We're going to do our best. But we do want to make sure that we can wholesale these to other people and still make a profit for us, so that we can hopefully get them into maybe some of your local bead stores and into your local retailers, small businesses that might want to sell them. So that's something that we're hoping to do. If you happen to be a small business that resells, or you are looking to buy in quantity for something, or a bead store in your area who might be interested in that, please have them contact us, or you contact us if it's for you. Have them contact us if it's for them at info@allegorygallery.com. And we're going to start a list of possible resellers so that when we are ready to do that, we have our list together and ready to go. And if we get to that point and we can produce for that kind of quantity, we can start taking orders. So that's very exciting. That's like I truly believe, and I hope I'm right, but I truly believe that's going to be the next evolution of our company, is to produce this line, wholesale this line, and get, hopefully larger stores or even smaller stores, just stores in general, get this out into the world so that we can continue doing the things we love to do, the education, the teaching and the classes, and bringing artists from all over the world to Ligonier to do retreats and things like that. Those are the kind of things we love, and that takes money. So if we can get into the wholesale business, I think that'll be wonderful. I think that's, like I said, the next evolution of things. And, you know, when you're producing something, you're always going to make the most money off of things you produce. That's generally the case. I should say manufacture, because that's a different thing. I know a lot of people, including Andrew, do not account for their time when they make, like when we sell Andrew's paintings and Andrew's jewelry. If we actually accounted for the time and the skill and the, you know, all that he puts into it, we underprice our stuff a lot. But, you know, you have to go with the market, right, as well. So manufacturing, though, for those of you who, you know, don't do it, or we don't do it yet, really. But manufacturing is one of the best ways, I think, to grow. And so that's what we're looking to do. That's what we're hoping to do. So I think I told you we're moving over to Star Cottage Studio. Things are shipping out. We're sorry for the delay, of course. If you need something, you know, like right now, let us know. Send us an email. Otherwise, we thank you for your patience and thank you for your support. And we are working through everything. You will get your orders. We promise we're going to get everything out. And hopefully, you know, hopefully by the end of this week or the end of next week, we'll be back to shipping almost same day. We just have to catch up. We just have to catch up. Hopefully we'll get an inundation of orders, though, too, which will also maybe push that a little bit ahead. But because right now it's slow. It's very slow. And so we're trying to do all that we can to keep that business flowing so that we can keep that cash flow flowing so that we can continue to pay for these things and continue making great things for you. All right. So I think I've talked enough, almost a full hour, about what is Allegory Gallery for those of you who are new to us. I shared this widely. So maybe you're in our local group. Maybe you've never been into our store, but you live, you know, down the street. Stop in sometime. But in case you can't, or in case, you know, you don't have that time yet, thank you for watching. So what we're going to do now is we are going to take a look at some beads. Let's take a look at some beads. We have dyed jade and we have electroplated lava, and we're going to show you those. We have a lot to show you. I'm just going to show you quickly, though. These are in the online store now. You can purchase them, allegorygallery.com. I think the lava's in there. I left that for, I left before that was entirely done with our helper. So hopefully it's in there. If not, it will be probably tomorrow. We'll get it in there. But the jade is definitely in there. And I shared a post about that on our Facebook page a little bit ago. And let's take a look at some of these colors. Let me turn on my lights here. Oh, that light's already on. My other lights aren't on. There we go. Let's turn these lights on. All right. Let me flip this camera around. You're going to see our ceiling for a moment. Let me get this situated here a little bit, and then I'm going to flip the camera. Takes a little bit to flip the camera on this system, and there we go. Camera flipped. Okay. Yeah, Ted's mentioning, yeah, let them know if you're around there. We don't want to, you know, start talking to anyone quite yet, but if there is somebody that's interested, if they reach out to us, we'll put them on the list. But once we actually get the production done, then we'll probably start in earnest. We even have some helpers that are possibly going to help us spread this far and wide. So yeah. We want people interested in it, hopefully. Okay, so we have dyed jade. These are the 8mm rounds. Now, if you missed the beginning of this video, I was talking about the dyed jade and, you know, how things are dyed. It's okay. It's okay. You know, as long as they're not going to come off on your skin when wet, you know, you sweat or, you know, whatever, go swimming, I don't know. It's okay. It's okay that things are dyed as long as you know when you buy them that they're dyed, right? You have to know. If you don't know they're dyed, then that's somebody tricking you, or maybe not purposefully tricking you, But we try our best to always let you know if things are dyed. And these are dyed. But they're also dyed in a way that they should not, hopefully, come off on you. We've run some underwater. We do the checks and try to make sure that's not the case. But these are $7 a strand. We actually took all of them and averaged them out. So all sizes, these are the 8mm again. We have more 8mm here in different colors. Let me see if I can boost this up a little bit here. Come on. My stand's being a little bit tricky today. So 8mm in dyed jade, beautiful colors, only $7 a strand. And this is something that's great for beginners, right? Because, you know, not just beginners, but starting with beginners, because sometimes you just want, I want this color, but I don't want to spend $20 or $30 for Amazonite that is that color, right? Or apatite that is that color. So you don't want to spend a lot of money because you're just getting into this and you don't know if you're going to like it. So buy some dyed jade, try it out, have fun, get the pretty colors, get the colors that are your favorites, and make something with them. Super easy, super simple. All of these colors are available at allegorygallery.com right now. If you go to the shop tab at the top of our menu and you go to the latest editions, you should see these and hopefully the electroplated lava as well that I'm going to show you. All right, so this is 8mm. Let's move that aside. And we also have 6mm. In a lot of the same colors, with some differences here and there. All right. So that's the 6mm. Cindy said, I've seen some killer malas made with these, especially in a rainbow ombre shift or color shift. Yeah, that would be awesome, right? That's the thing. Maybe you want a lot of colors, but you don't want to spend a lot of money. So buy a lot of colors. They're only $7 a strand. If you're doing little bracelets, you want multiple colors, you can make a lot of bracelets with one strand. These are, I believe, full-size strands. Let me just see here. Got to use the inches. Got to use the inches. Let me check. Yeah, these are 16-inch strands. These are true full-size strands too. So 16-inch strands, only $7 each. Get all the colors, get lots of colors. They're available. Those are the 6mm. And then, uh-oh, sorry. They're falling, they're rolling off my desk. Rolling off my desk. And then we also, whoops, looks like we have more 8mm. I missed those. They were underneath. So there's some of the lighter, the pink, the white, the black. This beautiful peach color in the 8mm. And then we have beautiful 4mm. 4mm. Now these are cool for like bracelets. They're even nice if you want to do a necklace, but you just want to use a small pendant, like almost a charm maybe. You don't want to use anything too big, like something penny-sized. You could use something like that size as a pendant, right? Or maybe, let's see, what do I have here? Maybe you want something like this green girl piece, and you want to use something like that as a pendant. You can use it on something smaller so it doesn't, oversize or overshadow the pendant. Because if you use something this big, that might overshadow your pendant a little bit, right? So you use something a little smaller. And, green girl. We have green girl pieces I have to get in the store yet, but if we don't have them in the store, you can always go over to Cynthia's website, greengirlstudios.com, and get these pieces too. And I know Cynthia, they are trying to raise money for a kiln. Look at this one. Look at this one. I love this one. They're trying to raise money for a kiln. So I know they're selling some prints to raise money, but I'm sure any purchase you make with them would be much appreciated right now. And she said there's no wait to order from us. There is a little bit of a wait right now. We are behind, so we do have a little bit of a wait. And, you know, we're all small businesses here. That's what we're doing. Cynthia, if you don't know, it's my sister-in-law, Andrew's sister, and they have Green Girl Studios, and they make wonderful, wonderful things. So if you have not been to their site, go to greengirlstudios.com or find them on Instagram, on Facebook. And, you know, small businesses, they make all their fine pewter items in-house. So they're not even working with a big production company like we're hoping to. They're doing it themselves. So it takes a little while sometimes, but what you get is absolute quality from them as well. And I know many of you out there already shop with them. So feel free to let people know who don't shop with them that it's good stuff, because I know you know it's good stuff. So yeah, do that. But like I was saying, they're trying to save up for a new kiln because they want to do more silver and bronze pieces and things like that. And their kiln is small for that kind of stuff. So make sure you also go over there and support Green Girl Studios. Donna says, huge fan of Green Girl Studios. Thank you, Donna. Make sure you go over there and also support them. You know, I love when you buy from us because it helps us and we can definitely need it during this time, but so can they. So if you have anything from them that you would like to get, please make an order with them. Help them get that new kiln. All right. Let's see here. Norma says these colors would be fun in macrame and bead Bollywood bracelets that Kate Richburg makes. Yes, absolutely. That would be tons of fun, right? Tons of fun. I love the colors. I'm one of those people, you know, I'm very pale, and, you know, I was always afraid of colors sometimes because, you know, some colors really don't look good on me. And so a lot of times I moved to New York and I got into that kind of wear black phase. And that was striking because I was so pale. But I quickly grew out of that and decided I like color and I like to play with color. And so when I see things like this and all these beautiful colors, I get very excited. I love color. So hopefully you do too. These are, like I said, we average them out instead of charging more for, you know, they're all $7. $7 a strand, no matter what size you want. Donna says you can make chakra bracelets out of these. Absolutely. Chakra necklaces, bracelets, anklets. That's a big thing right now. I see a lot of young people running around with anklets nowadays, and I've seen some people on TV. So I guess that's a thing again. So you can do that too, right? So that's all the dyed jade. It's lovely. These are smooth rounds and they are ready for you. They are ready for you to purchase and make yours, right? I always like to check. Sometimes you can tell when things are dyed by looking at the wire on them or whatever they're strung on. And I try to make sure that that is not, you know, necessarily taking on too much color from the beads. And sometimes with the darker colors it does, but you don't want a lot of color on those because that's a possibility that they'll run. We've checked these. They're not going to, hopefully. We tried to check a chunk of them to make sure that they were actually color fast and they're not going to run on you. That's important to us. We don't want you, you know, dripping colors unless you want to. Drip colors if you want to, but you should at least know that you're going to drip colors, right? So let me go ahead. I'm going to take these off of my desk here now. These are all, like I said, they're already in the online store. You can go get them right now. We have them. You can probably see we have our SKUs on them. Those are our S for Shopify SKUs, and they are ready for you to grab. So please do it. Check it out. Grab them today. Grab them today. Help us out. Buy some stuff. Keep us in business. Help us pay off that pewter line so we can get it manufactured next. And then we have, there you can already see some in the, we have the electroplated lava. And the electroplated lava also comes in 3 sizes. This is the, I want to say this is 4. This is 4 millimeter. 4 millimeter. And you have, I think, so you have, I'm trying to remember what the colors are called. I can't remember. There's a few different colors. So you have this, sorry, I'm like making it. You have this bright gold, and then you have this kind of less bright gold, right? Hopefully you can see the difference there. Bright, less bright. Still kind of gold color, right? It's kind of a, I don't know. I want to say rose gold, but then you have this, which I would call this copper, but I can't remember what they called it, which is what we may have called it on our online store. But it is so cool. And then you have the gunmetal color, and you have the silver. So let me see if I can pull one of each here to show you. So you have, in the electroplated, you have all 5 colors. And then, of course, we also have plain, non-electroplated. Now, the plain is nice because I believe, looking at this, it is not sealed in any way. So you can use this to put essential oils on. If you want, you know, you can put a few of these around your bracelet as spacers or something like that. And you can dab essential oils so that you have a little bit of that essential oil with you all the time. So those are the 4 millimeter. Dawn is asking, are they full strands? These are half strands. These are 8 inches. I think they're exactly 8 inches. Let me check again. I checked earlier today. Yes, these are 8-inch strands. So they are actual half strands. They're actual half strands. And we had electroplated lava in the store in full strands. There may be still some in the online store in the full strands, but these are, we were able to get these and still be at half the price or less. I think these are actually less than what half the price was. So these are all in the online store, I think, already. I hope they're already there. I was told they should be done before the end of the day. Sometimes things happen, customers come in. So hopefully they are there. Then we have the 6 millimeters. 6 millimeters, and we have them in the 5 colors along with the plain. So you have the bright gold, the lesser bright gold, kind of a satin gold. It's weird to say satin when it's like shiny, right? But it's kind of that light gold. Then you have the silver, the gunmetal, the copper or rose gold, and the plain. Available in the online store. And then of course we have the 8 millimeter, the big ones, the 8 millimeters in those 5 colors, plus the plain lava. Now, you know, we often buy small batch. So I think, what do we have here? I think there are only 3 strands of each color at each size available. So if you need a lot, we don't have a lot. We did put some of these in the physical store though. So if you buy some in the online store and you say I need more, I think we have 2 strands of more. So I think we got 5 strands total of each color of each size. 2 are in the physical store, 3 are in the online store for all of you out there. So if you need more, leave a note on your order when you make the order, and we can send you an invoice for more if you need more. Up to 2. Up to 2. We don't have a lot more. All right. But that's that. It's really, really beautiful. I hope you can see how pretty it is. It's well done. And the nice thing about this, like I'm holding this whole thing and it's not that heavy. So instead of using metal spacers, maybe you use these if you're trying to keep your weight low, right? Because lava is super light and this little electroplated business does not add a ton of weight. Like these strands, as I'm feeling them, they're not significantly different from one another. So between the plain and the electroplated. So it's a great, great deal. I think $9 is how much some of these cost. I think the largest ones are $9, and I think it goes down to $7 or $7.50 for some of the small ones. So I think they're a really good deal. you know, that allows us to make a little bit of money and allows it to be a great price for you all to make money off of when you make your creations and sell them too. All right. Donna says, that's why I want some, because it's so light. It's amazingly light. It's very nice for earrings. Very nice if you have people, you know, with neck issues, but they still like to wear a necklace. You can add some bling and still even some not so much bling with like this color, right? The gunmetal. But yeah, so that's what I have to show you today. So I know that's a little bit of show, but a lot of talk earlier. But I really wanted to, you know, like I said, let me just flip this camera around because I feel like talking to the desk or you watching the desk talk isn't the best way to do things. So I really wanted to share this video because we have so much going on. We really, you know, like I said, we're getting this fine pewter line going. We are pushing to get our book club going again. We came out with a podcast episode again. Andrew's doing lots of tutorials. If you missed his tutorial yesterday, he did a drawing tutorial, and I think you'll really like that if you're ever considered drawing or want to get into drawing. It's beginner friendly. He takes you through some things that he works at and some ways of looking at things. So we have those tutorials going. Andrew and I are discussing taking a day each week to film tutorials for YouTube. And these are the ones that we're hoping to get up to 1,000 people on YouTube and 40,000 watch hours so that we can put some ads in. And I know everyone hates ads. I don't like ads either, but they're a great chance to get up and get yourself a drink or a snack from the fridge, and let those small businesses that you watch collect some money. So if you are watching on YouTube and you watch like any of our friends in the Great Beat Extravaganza, if you watch them on YouTube and you see an ad play, let the ad run, because that gives them money for you just sitting there and watching an ad run for 2 minutes or something. They can't tell you that once we're monetized, but we're not yet. So we're going to tell you that now. So please let those ads run. So we're working on those. We're going to, like I said, take a day each week and film some videos so that we can edit them and get them up on YouTube for some beginner series and advanced series that we want to come out with. We've got Star Cottage Studio up and running for shipping for our online store, and that's leaving space at Allegory Gallery to increase our classroom space, so that we can have bigger classes and more people come in and have, you know, even bigger private classes. We had a request for a bridesmaid, you know, like I guess it's a bridesmaid party, something. Before a wedding, they wanted to come in and make jewelry, and unfortunately we don't have the space right now to handle the amount of people they wanted to bring in, and we couldn't get a teacher right away. So some of those things that we have to turn away like that, we're hoping in the future not to have to, by increasing the space that we have in store to do these things. Yeah, so we're just trying to do a lot. So, you know, all of that takes money, and if it doesn't take money, it takes time, when we should be using that time to make money. So you know, that's why we rely on you. We hope that you find some things that you love in our online store. There are thousands of products in the online store right now, and they're all carefully curated by us. They're all inspected for quality. They're all things that we love and hope that you love too. So please, if you can, help us out, do some shopping. Also, like I said, our family over at Green Girl Studios, please help them out if you can, do some shopping. They're trying to save up for a kiln so that they can do more as well. Okay, so I think that's it. So if you are watching this, thank you for watching. If you have watched this in the rewatch, thank you for sticking through and watching it. I hope you learned something about us, especially if you're in our town and you've never been in the store. We know there are a lot of people in our town who've never stopped by. And we hope that, you know, maybe you'll see this and you'll say, hey, I need to go in and check them out, or at least just stop by and, you know, give them encouraging words of support, because we love that too. We love getting to know our neighbors here in town. We have been, you know, Allegory Gallery has been in town since 2011. And I know there are people who have not stopped in yet. I know you're out there. So if you are out there watching this, please stop in and say hi. All right. And hopefully we'll get some of our other things going as time goes on. Like I said, the book club I think is going to be up next. Maybe the polymer clay club. I think I would love to get the polymer clay club going again, but that may take a bigger investment in polymer clay. We'll see. That was one of the reasons I think it kind of fizzled out. The pandemic came up, but also we don't keep a lot of polymer clay supplied in store. So maybe we'll change that. We'll see. But for now, the book club will be starting. Yeah, something else is on my brain too, but I can't remember. Who knows? Who knows what it was? Talked about polymer clay. I'm not going to remember. So we're going to try and start a lot up and get a lot going again for all of you out there, and just keep pushing along. All right. And I hope you all keep pushing along, and I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a beautiful week. I love these kind of Wednesday chats. I think I get really chatty on Wednesdays. I don't know if that's true, but I feel like that's true. It's just kind of a midweek break, and I like taking a midweek break with you all. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your support. And like I said, I know you have a lot of choices of where you can shop, and I just thank you and hope you'll continue shopping with us. And we'll continue trying to bring you the best quality at the lowest prices we possibly can. All right. Thank you so very much, everyone. And we will see you back here again tomorrow with something else. I don't know what. I wish I was one of those people that I, had the schedule down. Every day I already knew what I was going to show you. It's not the case. So it's as much as a surprise to you as it is to me sometimes. All right. Thank you, though. Have a wonderful evening or morning or afternoon, wherever it is in your neck of the woods. And we'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye, everybody.